by the power of Grayskull.
Hello, this is just a quick review for Battlefront 2. I was a bit late to the party on getting this one because I had other games I was playing, and plus I didn't want to play full price for the game, so I just waited and I ended up getting it for I think it was 24 quid off eBay, and it's still like 40 quid in the shop, so I didn't want to pay full price for it. And the whole reason I was excited about getting this game is for the story mode, because it's the first time, well, in a long time, that a Star Wars game's had like a one player campaign. So I was really looking forward to it, and my first impressions, I've played it for about an hour, and then I had a little go on multiplayer. I can't remember if I've put any multiplayer footage in, but just on the campaign alone, like if you haven't bought the game yet and you're thinking, oh, should I get it, should I don't, you know that the learning curve on the multiplayer, if you played the first Battlefront or any Battlefronts for that matter, it's steep as fuck, and there's a lot of people who just go in, pay to win, the whole loot crate business, and they just got overpowered weapons, and they just love sitting on here all day every day and just like taking the piss out of all the newbies. But I'm not that bothered about the multiplayer, because multiplayer is multiplayer. It could be like Call of Duty, it could be fucking Destiny, it could be anything. They're basically all the same. It's just like everybody's just killing each other, and it's just like a team death matches. Basically, it's I don't know why people get obsessed with the obsession of like playing multiplayer and like spending money and fucking all that shit. It doesn't appeal to me whatsoever. But like I say, this campaign, I like how it starts off. It's different how you're on the other side and you're on the Imperial side instead of the Rebels. So that's a nice change, because nearly every game that comes out, you're always the good guys. So it's a nice little change. And like I say, if you haven't played it yet, I don't want to spoil anything, but it is like a good little take on, like the usual Star Wars saga. So I like that about it. Plus how the game actually starts, how you're like a prisoner and you get captured and all that shit, and you've got to try and escape. So that's good. You've got that little droid thing on your back, which is good. That's like another little thing they've added onto it, so it comes in handy. You got to hack doors, you hack like weapon caches, and fucking you can give people electric shocks like that just happened there. But like I say, I haven't played Star Wars since the first Battlefront, and I had it downloaded, I had the season pass, but to be honest, I hardly played it. Once the novelty of the multiplayer had wore off, I had basically just give up, because like I say, there was other games I was more bothered about playing. But like, this is a weapon cache that you come across, and you can also find like secrets and stuff, but you get a chance to swap your weapon out. So if you've played the Battlefronts before, you sort of kind of know what the weapons are like, so I knew what weapons to pick. But the graphics are amazing. Like if you look at the foliage and you look at the light on the rocks and coming through the trees, and there's one point, I don't know if I recorded it, like if it's on here, but I threw a grenade, and then like it blew the tree up, and then the tree like fell over, but it was like, and it was like making noises, it was creaking as it fell over and all that. So it was like, it just little touches, the details, and it goes back to the first Battlefront. They've used all the proper sounds, and they've done 3D mapping of all the actual props, so all the guns look really realistic, like to the movie anyway. And everything's just so authentic. If you're a Star Wars fan, then it's just pure pornography for Star Wars fans. It's just amazing. The graphics, the sound are really top notch for Star Wars anyway. But like I say, I like the take on it. I like how you've got a campaign. That's the main thing. That's probably what this video is about, just the campaign, because that's what I'm really most interested in. And I know that people are complaining, saying, oh, it's only 5-6 hours long. But if you take your time and you don't just run everywhere, and you actually take your time and you search it, you can flesh it out to about 7 or 8 hours if you take your time on it. Plus I'm playing on expert difficulty, because I would rather it be rock hard, so it takes us longer to complete it, because there's no sense in putting on rookie or even normal and then just flying through the game, and then you're complaining. But it's, I think this fills in the gap, if I remember correctly. This fills in the gap from the movies. I think it's between 3 and 4. I think it fills in the gap there. So the Death Star blows up, and that's where you're like continuing on. That's where like the Death Stars just blew up, I think. So, or it hasn't happened yet, but it's about to happen. And so the rebels are talking about that. You hear them talking about Han Solo, like General Solo, and that's that big building in front. That's the Death Star shield generator, which is on Endor, which is where you are now. So, like I say, if you're a fan of the movie franchise and you know 4, 5, and 6 really well, then you're gonna hear little like nuances, and you'll see little things which just call back to the original source material, which is a really nice little touch. This is the Loot Crate bollocks. Everyone's kicked off about this because it basically is pay to win. But you got to remember, these companies aren't making these games for the love of it. They're doing it because they're greedy, and every company, every big corporation is greedy. So you can't really be surprised that you're having to pay real life money in order to progress in the game. I mean, I hardly ever do. If there's pay to win, I'll just boycott it completely, and I don't mind getting killed those extra couple of times just for the sake of having like an overpowered weapon. Like I say, it doesn't appeal to me, that. So if you can still enjoy the game, and you can still play it without having to spend any more money. You don't have to go out and spend a shitload of money just to be good at this game. I would advise you to go on to arcade mode and all that shit like first, just so you can get a feel for it. Go into the options, faff about with your sensitivity and all that shit. Make sure you get it just the way you want it before you start going online, because like I say, people have got overpowered guns and they don't give you a chance. They don't think, oh, he's new, we'll not like hammer him and we'll just let him enjoy the game. They'll think and get in, it's easy to kill him, so I'll just rack up my points. But you get a chance to be the heroes and stuff, and I like how they've changed that. Before on Battlefront 1 you had to collect little tokens, so if you knew where the tokens spawned you could always be a hero, whereas this time you've actually got to kill people and do objectives, and then that unlocks points which you can spend on different shit. So overall, I do really like the game so far. I mean, I've only been playing it for a bit. I did have a little taste on multiplayer before, and I went online and played Blast and that. But it's good overall. If you haven't bought it yet for some reason, and you were thinking, should I get it? I would definitely invest and get it. Go on eBay and try and pick it up second hand, because it's not worth paying the full price yet. I mean, it's one of those titles that'll stay full price for a long time. So that's it basically. So if you like the look of it, then go and get it, because it's definitely worth the money. So that's it really. See you later.